Did June numbers prove me right? Last month, after reviewing Urbanation's May report, I said something important. I said the GTA housing market was showing the early signs of recovery, not because prices were rising, because they weren't, but because the indicators that usually move first were beginning to change. Inventory was shrinking, demand was improving, and buyers were slowly returning to the market. I also said 1 month doesn't make a trend. So the question this month is, did June's numbers confirm that trend or prove me wrong? After reading Urbanation's latest report, I think we have our answer. The very first thing I looked at wasn't prices, it was inventory, because that's where I believe the real story was last month. And this month, the evidence became even stronger. New listings have now declined for 6 consecutive months. Active listings are also down 13% compared to last year. That means fewer homes are coming onto the market while buyers continue absorbing what's already available. That's how markets begin to tighten. Now, we're still not in a seller's market, and buyers still have choices, but the direction is changing. The second thing I wanted to see was whether buyers were actually coming back. The answer appears to be yes. Overall home sales increased 9% compared to last year. That's the 4th consecutive month of year-over-year sales growth. But what really caught my attention was condos. Condo sales jumped 14%, the strongest increase of any housing type. Urbanation also points to a rebound in first-time buyers. And historically, first-time buyers are usually the first group to return when affordability starts improving. Even more telling, sales of condos priced under $500,000 more than doubled compared to last year. Now to me, that's not just more activity, it's growing confidence. Now let's talk prices. Yes, average prices are still down 3.9% compared to last year. But here's why I'm not focused on that headline. That's actually the smallest annual price decline we've seen in 15 months. Markets rarely go from falling prices straight to rising prices. They usually stabilize first, then flatten. And only after that do they begin moving higher. This report suggests we may now be entering that stabilization phase. There's one more chart I always pay attention to: months of supply. Last year, buyers had about 5.1 months of inventory to choose from. Today, that's fallen to 4.2 months. No, that doesn't mean we're suddenly in a seller's market, but it does mean the market is gradually moving toward a balance. Every month the inventory shrinks, buyers lose a little negotiating power, and sellers gain a little more confidence. So was last month's conclusion supported by the new data? I believe it was. Not because prices suddenly took off, because they didn't, but because the leading indicators continue moving in the same direction. Sales increased again, inventory continued shrinking, first-time buyers returned, months of supply declined, and price declines became smaller. No one can predict the future with certainty, but when multiple leading indicators continue telling you the same story month after month, it's worth paying attention to. I'll be watching next month's report closely to see whether this trend continues. I'm Steve Bucciol, co-team leader of the Property Boys at Royal LePage Signature Realty. If you found this analysis helpful, subscribe for the monthly GTA market updates based on data, not headlines. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.